Hi, Melanie here with another Grassroots Minute for Bernie Sanders. Today we're going to interview Jared Rice. Jared, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a city council member in New Rochelle. I'm going on my 6th year now. Also, I am a criminal justice attorney in Westchester, and for 2016, I am the deputy mayor of New Rochelle.
So Westchester County is in New York. It's the home of Hillary Clinton. So what could you say about the community and how they're receiving Bernie Sanders?
Well, I think nationally, like Westchester, most people did not know of Bernie Sanders until recently. And being that Hillary and Bill Clinton are Westchester residents, I think that a lot of people are supporting them or were initially supporting them. But the more that people learn of Bernie, the more that they learn about the issues that he speaks to, I think that you're starting to see a lot of people who are really evaluating their options.
So why do you think Bernie is the best candidate for our nation?
You know, we had 8 years of George Bush, and we had 8 years of Barack Obama. And which direction do we want to head? Do we want to go back to the right, or do we want to become more progressive as a nation? And instead of saying, no, we can't, we are saying, yes, we can, and we're saying, yes, we will win. Because the enthusiasm, because the level of activity among so many millions of people around the country, because of the small donors, because of the grassroots efforts, because of social media campaigns, we are really winning right now. And everybody is scared. They are frightened. But we need enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is going to prevail. Enthusiasm is going to win the day. Enthusiasm is what I have right now. And that's why I'm doing this, notwithstanding the fact that I live in Westchester County and I was the first elected official. There are more now who are endorsing Bernie Sanders. And we're going to just say, you know what? Politics aside, we want the best person. The best person is Bernie Sanders for president, 2016. Let's go.
So how do they see Bernie Sanders as a viable alternative?
Well, initially the rhetoric was he's a Democrat socialist. He can never win. He's unelectable. But you're seeing these polls, and not only the polls in Iowa or New Hampshire with the Democrats going head to head, but the polls where he's matched up against Republicans, where he's pretty much beating every single Republican. And he is electable. He's very electable, and I think he's the most electable Democrat that we have of all of everybody running in this race.
So what are some of the problems that you're hearing from a lot of the people in your area, and how do you think Bernie can solve them?
Well, I think, first, a lot of people just don't know enough about him. And New York, we have a primary in April, I believe. So I think there's enough time between now and then for people to really get a chance to learn more about him. But with respect to Iowa and New Hampshire, which are both right around the corner, there's not that much time. I know there's a lot more activity going on there. But I think that he will fare well in both of those states. And because of the momentum that he has now, once he wins those states, I think that people really will start taking a lot more notice. So the biggest issue among Democrats that I speak to about Bernie Sanders, aside from the fact that he is perceived by many to be unelectable, is just his label as an independent or a Democrat socialist. And I think that once people really learn what a Democrat socialist is and what the policies that he is proposing for America, I think you can really get past that and make it about the issues. For me, that's what it came down to, and I want the candidate who's going to really push America in the right direction.
So what was it about Bernie and his call that made you really get involved in the political revolution?
So, it was one of the weirdest things that has ever happened to me before in my life. I was in New York City. I was about to be taped on the NBC show for My Brother's Keeper, New Rochelle, of which I'm the co-chair, and I turn around and I see Bernie Sanders standing right next to me. This is October, and it happened to be the day that Joe Biden said that he was not running for president. And at that moment, I was so confused. I did not know who to support. I didn't know whether I wanted to support Hillary or Joe Biden. I knew a little bit about Bernie Sanders, and then I met him. I had the opportunity to speak with him for about a minute. And the first thing that I noticed about him is so genuine. He is so authentic. And that really was the first time that I felt the burn. And I don't know how it happened that way or why it happened that way, but for whatever reason, because of that moment, this chance encounter, now I'm really pushing his name out there to everybody because he is the real deal and he is exactly what our country needs.
So if you could share something to those that are still making up their mind for who to vote for president, what would you tell them?
I would say focus on the issues. Be objective. I'm not telling you who to vote for, who not to vote for. Figure out what issues are most important to you. Figure out what issues are going to be the issues in the next coming years. Figure out where we want this country to go. Do we want a country that's fair and equitable for everybody? Or do we want the same old thing where it's status quo and the establishment is controlling everything and Wall Street's controlling everything? Bernie Sanders is speaking out to these issues and he's speaking the truth. And he's putting himself out there, so it's our job to put ourselves out there as well.
I love that. He really is putting himself out there. And I remember months ago, almost a year ago, like how few people really were supporting him. They were kind of scared. And it's like, you know what? Those people that supported him a year ago, like those are our rock stars. And it's just really exciting to see the momentum building. It's bigger than anything I expected. But I think Bernie knew. I think he's known his whole lifetime. I feel like he's kind of been working his whole lifetime consistently to do the best he can to help. And I think it's just being manifest in such a big way now. It's very exciting.
Because he never run for president before, and this is like, 74? A lot of people, they think in their life, oh, I want to be a president, I want to be a president. They do everything possible to try to maneuver their way to be a president, but he waited so long, and this is his time, and he was waiting for his time, so it's not about him. It's about what's really best, and it's about the issues, and he's saying the right things at the right time.
Yeah, my favorite tweet from Bernie is that I ran because I gave a damn. And that's him. He really genuinely cares. So what advice do you have for other grassroots supporters or anybody that wants to get involved with helping us elect Bernie Sanders?
Well, he has a phenomenal website, berniesanders.com. You could go on there and you could type in your zip code and you could see where events are occurring. You can go and see how you can personally volunteer your time. And most importantly, you can figure out how much money you want to contribute. Whether you want to contribute $3 or $10 or $30 or $50 or $100, whatever you can give. That's how this campaign is propelling itself. And there are more people donating to Bernie Sanders than any other presidential candidate in history. And that right there speaks volumes. Do you care about health care? Do you want somebody who's telling you, no, we can't have universal health care, it's impossible? Do you want to say, yes, other countries are doing it, and it's something that's very realistic, and there are ways to finance it? Do you want someone telling you that we can't have free public college, or do you want somebody saying, yes, it is very possible to have public tuition free so that everybody could reach their potential in life? We have a nation where not everyone is able to go to college. Those who would do well in college but don't have the finances or don't want to take out the loans to do so. There is another way, and there's a better way, and just because we were not able to get everything we wanted these last 8 years, 8 years after this, and we need to make sure we pick the right person. So go on the website, berniesanders.com, learn more. You can learn more about the issues, and you can figure out how you can play a role in this political revolution.